Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me here with Sugar Lash Pro. My name is Carina Arenas and I'm so excited to be here today to talk about the wet look and how it is an amazing thing to add to your services. So let's get into it. The Wet Look Unveiled Technique and Styling Masterclass. It's hosted by me. I'm a lash artist and educator here with Sugar Lash Pro. So again, I actually am super in love with lash extensions, and I always think maybe lash extensions are more obsessed with me than I am with them, right? Like, do we ever think of that? So I am actually certified teacher assistant with hands-on classroom experience. I am currently enrolled to obtain my bachelor's in education. My passion for lashing started back when I was little. I always felt like my lashes give me this secret superpower. So that's why I really got into it. I said, if I feel this great with lash extensions, maybe I can do that for somebody else. So that's where that happened. So my passion for lashing is what motivated me to pursue a career in the beauty industry. So it's been absolutely amazing. I love being here. I graduated top of my class at the University of Cosmetology, Arts and Science. That's right, I was number one. I've been licensed since 2022, and I am actually 7 times certified at mostly all with Sugar Lash Pro, but I am certified in classic, volume, mega volume, you name it, I've probably taken the class. I am here. I have a lash studio here in McAllen, Texas. If you don't know where that is, it is deep south of Texas. I mean, I am closer to the beach and the border, and we have great tacos. I joined Sugar Lash Pro back in January 2025, and my 1 year anniversary has just come to be. So I am very happy, proud, honored, grateful to be in the position that I am today because I get to hang out with all of you and also be part of an incredible team that really inspires me each and every day just to do better, push better, and keep going. My first training was actually with Ogle in Atlanta, which was last February of 2025. And now I get to go to a lot of the Ogle schools and I get to present and hang out and be super awesome with them. So maybe I'll stop by at your school soon. So a total quick check-in. I really just wanted to know, have you ever tried the wet set before? What do you struggle with? What's your retention like? What's your mapping like? And the spike creation, right? I want to know it all. So feel free to drop those in the comments. If you ever need help with a certain mapping or look or anything like that, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to help you with this. So who is the training for? Okay, I just want to do a small little recap for everyone. If you are not lash savvy yet or anything like that, this is a quick little refresher of what you should already know before we get into wet lashes and before we start offering these services, right? We don't want anyone coming in and not experiencing the great set, right? So of course, if you do the first model sets, that's totally cool. Take your time and perfect your craft because the way you protect and perfect it is the way you can offer it, and everyone's going to know how amazing you are in your sets. So who is this training for? This is perfect for beginner lash artists learning new styles. So if you're new, hello. Intermediate artist wanting to improve technique, again, hello. Artists struggling with retention or mapping. So this is what this training is for, right? Lash artists wanting to offer trending sets, and it's the summertime. Nobody wants to deal with too much maintenance, so maybe this is the go-to maintenance for them while they are traveling, on vacation, or anything like that. Maybe anyone who's interested in textured lash styles. I love the texture of with the wet look, so that's what we want. What you should already know. So this is what you should know already, okay? It's a little quick recap. Before offering wet lash sets, you should be comfortable with application. right? You should have perfect or proper isolation, safe lash application, basic lash mapping down, have great adhesive control, understanding lash diameters, and this will also ensure a safe and clean result, right? We always want to make sure we are being more safe with the natural lash health than anything else. If a client was to come in and they get a full set, we should be able to remove that complete full set and they still have healthy, happy lashes. Now the lash growth cycle. The lash growth cycle is broken up into threes, right? So we have our anagen, our catagen, and telogen. Our anagen is our growth phase. If they're new baby lashes, they are not ideal for anything that is heavy on them, right? There is times that I do see a natural lash and I'm going to let them live their best happy life because I do not want to affect the growth for it. Now, our catagen lashes is my favorite stage because they are lashes that are maturing. They're right there, perfect weight for the weight that you are going to put onto the lash extension. And then we have our telogen, which is our resting phase. This is where the lashes will shed soon. So apply extensions mainly to strong, mature lashes. I don't know if you ever noticed, but sometimes you put a lash extension on a natural lash and it falls. That's because it's already about to fall off in its resting phase. So sometimes you put it on there and you're like, what? It's drooping, or you just pick it up slightly and it comes off. That's exactly where that stage is at. So we always want to lash as much as we can. We always want to lash about 90 to 100% for a full set. Lash health and safety. So client safety should always come first. Never overload natural lashes. Choose appropriate diameters and avoid stickies, which is when lashes with the natural lash and lash extensions are all sticking next to the partnering natural lash. So we make sure we don't want to do that. Or it could be attached to another lash extension, which we also do not want. And always maintain proper isolation. This all goes back onto what glue you are using. So take your time and work with the speed, the humidity, and the temperature that you need to work with your lash glue, your lash adhesive. Maintain proper isolation, of course, and educate clients on aftercare. And this is one thing that I always do is I talk about aftercare during my consultation. I know some people wait until after it is they already have the full set on, but I promise you they are not listening to what you are saying half the time. Once they hear or see their lashes, they are more than likely like, oh my God, I look amazing, I look great. And yes, they do look amazing, they do look great, but they are not listening to what you are saying. So maybe even during your prep stage when you are fully cleansing your lashes, the natural lashes, before you start mapping and all that, you can go ahead and say, look, see how I am scrubbing in between your lashes, top, bottom, all around. That's what you want to do every time that you are cleaning your lashes, because happy, healthy lashes and clean lashes go hand in hand. All my clients that take care of their lashes, I cannot enforce this enough, that they need to take care of them. They need to clean them. You do not want any gunk in there. We have natural tears coming out all the time, so we want to make sure we are keeping them happy and clean. So happy lashes equals long-term clients. And I'm happy to say that I have my clients that I've had for years. They make me so happy. I was just talking about this the other day where I couldn't believe that I've had my client for, was it, do we say 3 or 4 years already? When I first started. So it's amazing. She's like, wow, your speed is insane. Like, are you sure you're done? And I'm like, yeah, girl, bye. Because, you know, after time, that's when you start getting faster. So styling versus mapping. Mapping and styling are not the same. Mapping is placement of lengths across the lash line. So that could be 13s all the way across. That's not what I do. I've seen it happen, but you know what you want to do is customize the lash shape for your client based on their natural eye shape and features that they have. Are they proportionate eyes? Do they need symmetry? What do they need that I can help balance out the set? So both are important for creating the perfect balance. So again, client consultation. This is what I was talking about, where there's a time where you want to talk about aftercare. This is the time where you want to do that, maybe at the end of your consultation. But this is the time where you ask maybe about 21 different questions, right? So you ask them the desired lengths. Maybe they know, maybe they don't know. But this is the time that you could explain what the looks would look like. Do they want something more natural or dramatic? Now, the word natural gets used very loosely sometimes in the lash world. Sometimes they'll say natural and they'll show me a volume wispy, and I'm like, to me this is a little bit more on the volume side, but let's break it down so we both understand what we're both talking about and what we're going to do to create this perfect set. So choose the correct links, the right pictures, the most questions that you need. Also, if they've had past lash experiences, you might have someone come in and be like, I hate lash extensions. I've had them before and it was a nightmare, and they gave me super long, super thick lashes, and they were heavy and they hurt. All of these little things, right? We want to ask them what they liked and didn't like about the set. Maybe it hurt too much because you could feel the prick. Maybe the lashes were just adhered a little too close to the eye. Maybe they have a very heavy lifestyle. Maybe they're in the gym 24/7 and they love to be in the sauna. So maybe less is more for them. It really truly depends on each client, or you want to make sure you are making it easier for them to, especially to have lash extensions. Because if I came in and you told me I need to see you every 2 weeks for the rest of your life, I would be like, okay, why? But if you told me and educated me that me taking care of them will prolong them and I don't have to see them as often, then I would definitely be cleaning them each and every day. You also need to take into consideration their lifestyle, right? Always make sure that maybe they go traveling often, right? And they have to keep up with the maintenance of the lash extensions, but they really want to. This is a time where you consult with them and make sure that you are both knowing realization of what you're going to get out of this set. So this helps you customize the set for each person. So each person is different. Of course, what if someone comes in with one picture of inspiration and it is some very thick, bold lashes, beautifully, of course, and then they're like, I want this exact set. Now, what if she has very short natural lashes? Could we do that? Probably not. But we want to be honest and tell them that your lash health is the most important. So who is not a good candidate? Because of course not everyone can be. So anyone with very weak natural lashes, maybe extremely sparse lashes, or maybe poor aftercare habits, because we always want to prioritize lash health over style. So maybe you have a client that has like a huge gap, right, in between the middle lashes. If we were to use classic lashes or the wet set, it's going to emphasize still that area that is gapped. So we want to maybe offer a volume set that we could actually manipulate the lash extensions to cover up the sparse areas. Of course, this all depends on person to person. So this is what we will cover today. We will cover the wet lash look, why the style is so important, the products and lash diameters, lash mapping and wet sets, how to create wet lash spikes, placement and layering techniques, common mistakes and how to avoid them, retention tips, and demonstration. Now, this is one of my favorite lash looks that I did with the wet lash, and in this style I can of course give you guys the mapping if you wanted. Just go ahead and send me a message. I love using her as my model. She is actually my sister-in-law, so she has the most beautiful eyes. And here I thought it was very beautiful to use multiple lashes. So I actually used a CC curl here and I layered them in different positions with also classic lashes. Sorry. So it does have your spikes, of course, but then she does have some itty bitty lashes that needed a little lash. So I went ahead and put a 0.12 on some of the fillers. Now let's talk. Drop your answers in the chat. Do you prefer natural or dramatic sets? What lash diameter do you currently use? Now, I use a huge array of diameters and lengths, so I use a little bit of everything. But if you're more used to one or another, please let me know. I'd love to get to know everyone's favorite go-tos. So what is the wet lash look? The wet lash look is a lash style that mimics the appearance of freshly applied mascara. Characteristics of a wet set is a spiky texture, closed lash bands, glossy and defined appearance, lightweight feel, less fluffy than volume lashes. So this is what a wet lash looks like and why it's so amazing. This is why clients love the wet lash look. So the wet lash looks has become very popular because it's a defined but natural effect. So it's like above a classic but below volume dramatic. Yeah, so it's like the perfect match to make a bolder look. So it looks like mascara without the mess. Amazing. Lightweight on natural lashes. Amazing. Great for everyday wear, trendy and modern style, and works well with many eye shapes. So just depending on your mapping, you can literally use it on every eye shape. It just depends on the mapping that you use. So the wet set versus the volume set. So the wet set has closed spikes, it has more definition, less density, textured appearance. Now our volume set is open fans, a fluffy look, and it's fuller density, and it's a soft finish. These are the tools that I use to create this set. So I use our signature bond, actually I use our Barn Noir, but my personal favorite is our signature bond due to the high humidity that it does have. And then I have our plush lashes that are 0.005 cc. We need our primer, our micro brush, adhesive film, our volume tweezer, isolation tweezer, mascara wands, pure cleanser, and having all the correct tools help you create a clean and precise spikes. This is everything that I use, and all my favorite go-tos. Of course, everything is Sugar Lash Pro because I absolutely love our products. Adhesive environment. Now this has a big role for absolutely everyone that is doing lash extensions. You need to make sure you have the important factors down. Of course, your environment affects retention. So humidity, temperature, adhesive drying time, all of these things factors into having the perfect environment. So always adjust your adhesive technique based on your environment. So depending on what lash glue you have is how you will determine how you will have your room set up. So the lash diameters for wet sets. So using the correct lash diameter is important for every set, actually. Recommended diameters are 0.03s, 0.05s, 0.07s. So why the thinner lashes? Because each spike contains multiple lash fibers. Thinner diameters keep the set lightweight and safe for the natural lashes. Our lash curl selection, our curl choice affects to the final styling of the set. Common curl is used for wet sets. C curl is a natural look, a CC curl is a soft lift, and a D curl is of course the dramatic lift, right? And you'd like to choose these shapes, the curls, by your client's eye shape and desired result. My personal favorite is a CC curl because it's not too dramatic and it's not too soft. It's like perfect in the middle. So direction matters. Lash direction affects the final look. Always follow natural lash direction, avoid crisscrossing lashes, keep spikes aligned, check your work from multiple angles, and clean direction equals professional results. I always take your time at the end of your set to make sure all lashes are correctly applied to frame the eye shape. If you were to possibly get some crisscross lashes, this will be the time at the end of the set to go ahead and remove and replace into the correct direction, because then you'll have these lashes that are crisscross and they're not going to look that appealing, right? I get to go on with my life and not think about my client's lashes, but she's going to go home, she's going to look at that mirror, and she's going to be probably annoyed that those lashes are not in the correct area, right? And I don't blame her. So take the time, maybe it was just 10-15 minutes after the set is complete, to just double check from all angles. I also like to use those underside mirrors to double check my lash line. So just these little different angles will help you with the perfect set. So how do you choose spike lengths? So choosing the right spike length is key. Spikes are typically 1 to 2 millimeters longer than fillers. Avoid going too long on weak lashes. Balance drama with lash health. Of course, the goal is to always have noticeable texture without damage. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to be able to remove the full set and you did not damage or compromise the natural lashes. Our basic wet lash mapping is 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 9. Mapping helps create balance across the lash line. Always adjust mapping based on your client's eye shape. Spikes are usually 1 to 2 milliliters longer than the filler lashes. So this is kind of like a pattern, right? For the wet sets are created using a pattern of spikes and fillers. So example, spike, filler, filler, spike, filler, filler. Now spacing out spikes properly creates the signature wet textured effect. Now, you might have a time where a natural lash is actually a lot shorter and it's supposed to be the spike. I'm not gonna go ahead and put a spike there. I'm gonna use the neighboring lash that I see that is healthier. Why? Because I'm not going to damage just the natural lash just to put a spike there. If she goes home and she has all that weight on the natural lash, we could be causing more damage than anything, and that natural lash will fall prematurely and be unable to be lashed next time you see your clients, and maybe they'll just have a whole patch from the natural lash ripping out, and we do not want that. Filler lash placement. So filler lashes support the spikes. Use lighter density, place between spikes, keep them shorter than the spikes, and avoid making the set too full. Fillers help create contrast and definition. So you don't have to lash, like if they have like a huge like lash line that is dense, you don't have to lash every lash if that is the set you are going for. But if they can have all the fillers with the spikes, then let's give the client what they want, right? So less is more is less. Customizing for eye shapes. Wet sets should always be customized. For example, round eyes. Round eyes can use a soft cat eye map to elongate the eye. Hooded eyes avoid overly long spikes because it could hit the hood. It could also be touching too far. And it also could just be very tedious to just put it in a spot that is not going to be helpful for them. So this could also make their eyes look a lot smaller and shorter, and we don't want that, right? Almond eyes work perfect for almost every eye shape, for eye map as well. Always analyze the eye shape before mapping. So take your time during that consultation to see what they're looking for, what you're looking for, and to make sure that the lash set will be proportional. How to create wet lash spikes. Now, these are some steps to create the wet lash spike, and I do have a video to show you guys like a little hack. Pick up multiple lashes from the strip. Keep the lash bases together, dip the base lightly in adhesive, do not fan the lashes open, apply a closed spike, and the lashes should stay tight and defined. So make sure you are taking your time when creating these sets and creating the spikes. Because I have a lot of muscle memory in my hand for making handmade fans, I had a very hard time just picking up and going. It took a few drills to get there. So do a few drills before you get started just so you can get that rhythm going. Adhesive control is very important when creating spikes. Too much adhesive can cause spikes to open, heavy application, and poor retention. Now, the best thing to do is to always use a small adhesive dip. Focus on clean attachment to the natural lash. So I like to use an adhesive film. This just helps me control how much adhesive I do pick up. Lash placement technique. When applying spikes, attach spikes to strong natural lashes, maintain consistent direction, keep spikes evenly spaced, avoid placing spikes too close together, and this actually helps the set look clean and textured, which is exactly what we want. Layering for texture. Layering helps create depth in the wet lash set. Technique is place spikes mainly on the top layer, fill bottom layers lightly, mix slightly different lengths. This will prevent the set from looking flat. Retention tips. Good retention helps build and with proper preparation. Key retention tips is clean lashes thoroughly before application, control humidity and temperature, use the correct adhesive amount, attach extensions properly to the natural lash. Proper extensions keeps clients returning for refills. Common mistakes would be using lash diamonds that are too thick, allowing fans to open, placing too many spikes, proper lash isolation, uneven spike spacing, and fixing these mistakes improves the overall result. How to fix spikes opening? So this what you would do is you would use less adhesive. You're going to work a little faster. You're going to adjust pickup techniques and check your humidity levels. It could just be your room with your glue maybe working too fast or too slow. Practice helps improve consistency. So just practice, practice, practice. And once you got it down, you got it down. How to fix a messy set. So if your set looks messy, recheck your mapping, improve spike spacing, use fewer spikes, focus on direction, step back and assess often. So maybe just get up and look from the other point of view. Just different ways you need to look at different angles. This could help you because small adjustments make a big difference. Timing your sets. So wet sets can take time when learning. Of course, do your models, do the models and learn how to do that first before you do this on a set, because I've been a victim of thinking I am somewhere else than I really am. Like when I first started doing volume sets, that took a lot longer than I expected. So take your time, pre-plan your map, work in sections, don't rush your placement. Practice spike creation separately because the speed comes with consistency. So maybe you're watching TV and you want to do a few drills, do them. Do quick pickup drills. It will help you. And don't rush, right? I'd rather you spend an extra whatever minutes making sure my set is perfect than me waking up and my lashes are crisscrossed, they're a little everywhere, it looks a little messy. So take your time, don't rush, and you've got this. So, of course, client aftercare. Educate clients on aftercare is important. Clients should always clean their lashes daily with a lash cleanser. Avoid oil-based products. Brush lashes gently. Avoid rubbing the eyes. Return for refills every 2 to 3 weeks. Good aftercare helps maintain style and retention. So let's get set up. So I love our boot tweezer for the wet set because it gives a strong and secure grip on multiple lash fibers. It makes it easier to create clean closed spikes, helps maintain consistency in every pickup. It's great for pickup and it has a great control on the boot. Okay, now let's prepare your palette. So what I did here is I grabbed our lashes in 0.005 and this is a CC curl with our plush collection. I went ahead and chose my size and I made this video just so you can see how easy the pickup is. You want to just pick it up from a corner. Once you see that tab up, pull all the way through and place it on your palette. Now I always leave a little room at the end so whenever I need to replace the length, I can just go ahead and pull that from the side tab. So again, just pick which size you want. You're going to pick up that corner, pull all the way through, and place it onto your lash tile. This is what I use when I lash. And I actually leave that little tab just for a quick pickup, and I won't be struggling to try to pry that off of my palette. So adhesive film, this is what I personally use every time to get that perfect control of my lash glue. I feel like if I can physically see how much I am picking up without any clutter or anything like that, this is just a lot easier for me. So this is what I use. So every time you get a new adhesive, you want to go ahead and shake it for about 3 minutes. This is our bonjour. It has a perfect set time, drying time for 1 to 2 seconds. This is perfect for our more advanced lash artists. I got this glue shaker on Amazon. Just so I won't be shaking it by hand like this, I can just go ahead and use my glue shaker and it will spin that for about 2-3 minutes. Just making sure all of the adhesive is shaken correctly and it is ready to use. So making spikes. What we need to make spike is our primer, our micro brush, and our lashes. So this is a quick little helping tip that I use just to get those spikes great. So on my micro brush, I actually do already have primer on it. And what I'm doing is I am running it through the ends of the lash extensions. As you can see, it's creating these little spikes all up on the lash strip. So I wanted to show you guys how I do it. Is a primer, the micro brush goes on, and then I just run it to the ends, and that just gives me great little spikes that are ready for pickup. So this is a close-up of the lashes after the primer. And you can just see how they are more spiked rather than a fluffy for the perfect pickup. So this is making a closed fan, apologies. And I really just go in there and pick it up. That's it. So it's just with my boot tweezer, it gives me that perfect grip, 100% closure, so I can go ahead and use that for the perfect pickup. And it also is so helpful so you won't have that hand fatigue, because when you are lashing after 2 hours, especially when you have a full day of clients, just the first 2 hours, your hands are already going to start feeling tight, right? So you want to make sure you are using tools to help you. And maybe sometimes the bases come undone. That's okay. When you put them into that glue, they will come back together. So I wanted to show you how thin these lashes are to create the perfect spikes. So those are my spikes. So now we're working on timing and density. So as you can see, I was trying to grab a lot of different ones and show you up on that top line how many lashes I was picking up. Are some too dark, some are too light. And this is where you get the chance to do your drills, but also take the time to learn your favorite ways of creating the spikes. So taking your time and just sitting back and getting back to basics is always fun for me. So, and I had a regular piece of paper under this, so there's no, I'm trying to really connect the base to just the piece of paper, so we can see how much glue we are using for the glue control as well, and just working on timing and seeing how thick or thin I want these lash extensions to be. So this is my client. She was this is her before. As you can see, you can barely even see that she has any natural lashes peeking up, but she did have very straight down lashes. And this is the actual mapping that we did. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 9, which is the base that we talked about earlier. That is our filler base. Now our top layer is 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, 10. So I only went up 1 millimeter on most sections. Now I will say this, she did have some healthier lashes in that 10, 11 area. So I went ahead and put a few 12s, but closer to the 12 area, just because I wanted to accentuate a lift on her eye. So this is how I mapped her, and this is her after. Very, very beautiful. And like I said earlier, I got into the industry because lash extensions literally give you a superpower. This is actually my aunt-in-law, and this is the first time she actually had lash extensions. She is so cute. She is raving about her lash extensions. Like, she's like, I feel like a Disney princess when I wake up. She's so funny. But she loves them, and I gave her that confidence, and that makes me happy. And so the final results, of course, of the wet set is they are clean, defined, weightless, evenly spaced, and they're textured. Now the goal, of course, is a mascara-like finish with glossy spikes, and I do think we successfully did that. Now, pricing your work. This all depends on your skill level, the time required, your product usage, your experience. And I just want you guys to know, and you should always remember, do not undervalue your work. Of course, when you are doing your model sets, I would 100% either do them free or maybe just enough for your products that you used to price it like that, because you are still getting comfortable. But once you have it down, go ahead and run with it. Now the key takeaways. So it's important points from today's training is wet sets use closed lash spikes. Thin diameters are safest for natural lashes. Proper spacing creates texture. Mapping controls the final shape. Technique and adhesive control are essential. Now, thank you so much everyone for joining me today on today's webinar. And if you have any questions, you can let me know. But you could also, maybe you don't remember right now and you remember later, you can always connect with me on Instagram, email, Facebook, TikTok. Most of my handles are, or they all are Cosmic Wink Lashes. I'm more active on our Instagram or on Instagram. So go ahead and add me. And if you have any questions or you need advice or you want me to see your set, go ahead and tag me. I always follow back as well. Unless you're private, then I don't know if you want me to add you. So you can always message me and be like, you can add me. But my email is carina@sugarlashpro.com if in case you need and you want to email me. Now we do have incredible webinars coming up. So we have Katie, which will be hosting on April 13th, the Beyond Black Mastering Sugar Lash Brunette Lashes. Ugh, I love brunette lashes. So join Katie for a deep dive into Sugar Lash Pro's brunette lashes. Discover their unique qualities, how they enhance beauty, and tips for seamless integration into your services. Learn to create stunning custom looks. So that's a very great one to do. Also, Leah is going to be doing a bespoke bridal look for wedding season. Join Leah for the webinar where you'll learn to create stunning, durable bridal lashes tailored to each bride's dream, from application techniques to personalized styles for the perfect wedding day. And that's gonna be so fun. And we all have brides coming up for summer. It's summertime. It's bridal season. Ah, how fun! Oh, and then we have Irene, and I think this is like a really go-to, guys. I mean, I think you should join all of them, and I have reasons why. But Irene's is going to be even extra awesome in June 16th. She will be talking about beyond the lash bed. And I think this is where we all get tricked up, right? So we need to be mastering client management, and she has all the details and all the information that we need, right? So join our webinar to elevate your client communication skills. Learn to set expectations, handle difficult conversations, and protect your mental health for a thriving lash business. That is June 16th. That's a really awesome one. So here with Sugar Lash Pro and our educating team, our goal is to create a space where all lash artists can learn, grow, and feel supported. So make sure to stop by. And here are my reasons why you should stop by. 100% free education for lash artists at all levels. You stay updated with current lash trends and styles. You improve your skills and boost your confidence. You ask questions and get answers in real time. You watch live demonstrations and techniques. You can connect with other lash artists in the industry, which is super fun. And then you gain knowledge that helps grow your business. So there's some people that I've met on these webinars and people that I've just met on Instagram, and I literally call them my lash sister. Like, there's nothing better than that. So I love connecting, we love connecting, so make sure to connect with us. And then if you have any feedback for us, you can use this QR code to give us feedback. You can also let us know what you want to see more of, what you want to learn about, and all that good stuff. But that is it, and I appreciate you guys taking your time to watch this webinar, and I hope everyone has an awesome day. If you guys need anything, again, I am Carina Arenas and Cosmic Wing Lashes.